Beautiful. Well, lovely to see you. I didn't think anyone would be around, so this is nice. This is good. We get to do some yoga. So welcome. I'm not going to read my messages. I want to read you something. So I'm not checking my phone. Now I came across this little article in a magazine recently, and it really interested me. So during lockdown, maybe you were one of those people who took up a new skill or developed a new craft. The sourdough craze. You might have a mother somewhere in your fridge ready to bake some sourdough. Maybe you got on the banana bread train. Maybe you sort of blew the dust off an old sewing machine or something. I think there was a sort of period where we all were looking for things to do that we could do at home to while away the time. And people were searching for YouTube videos of various things to help them develop their skills. And apparently the most searched for skill on the internet is yoga. So I don't know what that says about society, but yeah, yoga, closely followed by drawing and piano, drawing tutorials and piano lessons online. And I was thinking about this, what is it that draws people to yoga? Is it the physical movement? Is it the kind of spiritual side of it? Is it the kind of chance to chill out and slow down? And then I thought maybe it's all of those things, and that's why people search for it, because it means something different to each and every one of us. And maybe it means something different to us each and every time we hit the mat. Yoga's got it. Sometimes we want to move our bodies, we need a good stretch. Other times it's, I just need that time out, I need to chill. And then sometimes maybe it is something a little bit more spiritual, for want of a better word, that kind of connection with something greater than oneself. I don't know. So whatever it is that you're in need of on this Wednesday morning, I hope you can find it in the practice ahead. So as ever, listen to your bodies, take whatever modifications you need in order to enjoy the practice. And we're going to start lying down today. Oh, beautiful. I know, that's why we all like yoga. You get to lie down, don't you? It's the only valid exercise where you can start lying down. Oh, let's give those knees a squeeze. Maybe have a little rock and roll side to side. Maybe a little massage through the lower back. Maybe a little roll of the head from side to side. Just reacquaint yourself with your mat there. And if it's been some time since you practiced last, then again, take it easy. Listen to your body. We're going to bring the feet down to the floor. We're going to keep the knees bent up towards the ceiling today. So go ahead and widen your feet if that feels more comfortable, so you can rest your knees against each other. Maybe just adjust the back of your hips. You can always puff up your chest and gently scoop your shoulder blades down your back. Oh, that feels nice. And then maybe one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly, or maybe the arms down alongside you. Again, intuitively listening to what feels good this morning. I'm just going to come up to talk to you, but you get yourself settled lying down there. Pop something underneath you or on top of you if you're in a chilly room, or if you need a little bit of support underneath the back of your head. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. Take the deepest breath in that you've breathed all morning. And as you breathe out, just let yourself settle. Let yourself arrive at your practice this morning. Happy to be here. Happy to have carved out a little bit of time in perhaps a busy schedule to reconnect with yourself. Maybe yoga is all about that. It's about that reconnection. In fact, the word hatha yoga, which we practice a form of, means union, the union of breath and body. So let's take a moment to connect with perhaps the most important component of any type of yoga, our breath. Breath comes first. So if you're comfortable this morning, just starting to encourage the breath to become a little bit deeper, a little bit longer. You might even find it almost does that of its own accord, and it starts to slow down quite naturally. If it doesn't happen today, maybe you're feeling very busy or got a lot on your mind, and we never force that process. We just kind of acknowledge, accept. Again, part of that yoga journey, that acceptance of whatever comes up on the mat. Learning to manage that with an equanimity that hopefully we can carry beyond our yoga practice. So let's just allow everything to begin to settle. laying aside the week you just had, and trying not to let yourself get distracted by thoughts or concerns about the week ahead, so we can really truly land in this present moment. Keep the legs as they are, but just start to gently add some movement to the breath. So if your hands are resting on your body somewhere, go ahead and just bring them down alongside you, and we'll all just bring the palms down toward the floor, lengthening your fingertips towards your heels, so you can feel you've got a nice long neck there. Go ahead and take any blankets off, or maybe move anything out from underneath the back of your head. And then your next inhale, let's float the arms up towards the sky, and maybe continue to bring them all the way back behind you if that feels comfortable. Lovely, pausing there for a moment. Take a moment to stretch the fingertips back, and just notice if you're arching your back there. And can you very gently soften your rib cage so we feel a connection between your shoulder blades and the floor. Lovely. Take one more inhale there, and when you're ready to breathe out, let's float the arms all the way back down alongside you, beginning to spread through the fingers, wake up through the hands. So inhaling, arms come up and maybe back behind you. Let's carry on with that movement. And exhale, slowly lowering them down. And just continuing that now, just for a few more rounds. And if the shoulders feel a little bit tight today, go ahead and bring the arms out into a nice wide V shape behind you, or even level with your shoulders. So acknowledge again what you're working with. Our shoulders, particularly in this chilly weather, can hold quite a lot of tension. So, just being kind to them. Let's do one more nice deep breath in, floating the arms all the way back up. And maybe landing behind you, and exhaling, bringing them all the way back down. And when they land down alongside you this time, we'll pause and walk your feet and ankles together. So your feet, ankles and knees are together. And now simply let your knees drop open to the side like a little butterfly spreading its wings. You can slide your heels a little further away from you if your hips feel tight today, or cross one shin in front of the other if that feels comfortable. So take a little rock across the back of the pelvis there. Soles the feet together, knees wide, and a reclined goddess, or a little butterfly pose it's sometimes called. And then coming to stillness, let's come back to that arm movement. So as you inhale, float the arms all the way up and back, allowing the knees to relax out to the side. Exhale, bringing the arms down. Maybe your fingertips just rest on the tops of your thighs there. Your arms are long enough. So inhaling, floating the arms all the way up and back. And exhaling, slowly lowering. We'll do that twice more. If you've got one shin crossed in front of the other, go ahead and put the other shin in front now, so you balance things out. As we do these last two arm movements, just feeling a little opening through the hip as well. Allowing the knees to just open out to the side. And when you've finished your last two, we'll all meet with the hands down alongside you. Draw your knees together now, and bring one knee and then the other in towards your chest, giving them a little bit of a hug, a squeeze, hands on the knees. Let's take the knees round in a circle. So the knees might be together, or you might have them a little further apart. Again, whatever feels good for your hips. Maybe you noticed in that butterfly pose, you're a little stiff in the hips. And then we'll just reverse the direction of the knees, taking them around the opposite way. A little massage there. And then feet coming down to the floor, hip width apart with your heels snuggled in towards your sit bones. Let's come into a little shoulder bridge there. So press evenly through your feet, or take an inhale. And as you exhale, start to press into your feet and lift the hips up off the floor, lifting the spine. Maybe keep it nice and low to start with. Breath in at the top, and breathing out, roll your way down through your spine. A little tuck of the tailbone under so you can stretch out through the lower back. And again, breathing in, hips on the floor. Breath out, we start to lift the hips. So just check that the knees aren't rolling out to the side. We're pressing into the base of the big toe. A breath in at the top, and a breath out to again roll your way all the way back down. Let's do one more like that. So this time, maybe as you exhale and start to lift your hips, you're coming up to that flat area between your shoulder blades. Stretching your tailbone towards the backs of your knees there. We'll breathe in at the top, maybe lifting a little higher. And breathing out, rolling your way down. Lovely. Now, if this next bit doesn't work for you, then feel free to continue doing what we're doing. But if you can, we're going to add those arm movements we've just done. So this time, as you inhale, float the arms all the way back above the head. And as you exhale, we pick up the hips. So we start to peel our way up off the floor. As you inhale, option to lift up onto the balls of the feet. And as you exhale, roll your way down, keeping those heels lifted and the arms stretching back behind you. Oh, lovely feeling of length through the body. And then drop the heels and float the arms all the way back down. Lovely. We'll take a breath in, float the arms all the way up and back. And as you exhale, let's pick up the hips again, maybe coming up to that area between your shoulder blades. This time, as you inhale, option to rise on up, lifting up the heels. And exhale, roll your way back down. If you keep your heels lifted, you need a little bit more control there to stop the knees from wobbling from side to side. And then the heels land, and then float the arms all the way back down. I'm going to do that one more time. So inhaling, floating the arms up and back. Exhaling, lifting the hips. And this time we're going to pause. As you inhale and lift your heels, option now just to walk your toes a little closer in towards your bottom. See if you can lift up a little bit higher there. And then when you're ready, slowly roll your way back down. All of that's optional. You can always keep your heels down if that doesn't feel nice. Beautiful. And when the heels touch down, we'll bring the arms out to the side now, level with your shoulders. And walk your feet again a little bit wider apart. And rest your inner knees against each other. So take a nice breath in as you reach the arms out left and right. As you breathe out, give yourself a big hug with your right arm on top of your left arm. So see if you can slide your fingers around towards your shoulder blades. If that's not comfortable, just bring one hand onto your chest and one hand onto your belly. Try and relax your elbows down your chest. As you breathe in this time, see if you can breathe into your chest. You might feel that your arms lift a little bit. Big breath into your chest. And a big breath out, just feel the arms maybe soften a little bit as the chest drops. So breathing just into your chest if you can, breathing in. And breathing out. Lovely. This time as you breathe in, see if you can breathe into your belly so your arms stay still. And you're just directing the breath down into the lower belly, doming up, and then exhaling to soften and release. We'll do one more like that. So breathing again into your lower belly if you can. Arms might stay relatively still. If you've got your hands on your body, you're just directing the breath into your lower hand. And then release. Lovely. Take the arms out into that big, wide stretch, like the top of a letter T, breathing in. Breathing out, other arm on top, left arm on top, or just swap the hands over on your chest and your belly. Try and snuggle those shoulders, those fingertips towards your shoulder blades. Relax your arms. And then again, we'll breathe into our chest. So you might feel the back expand, the ribs expand, the arms lift a little bit, and then exhale, you feel everything soften. So belly stays relatively still in this one. See if you can again direct the breath into your chest. And exhale, release. And then we'll try that again, but breathing into your lower belly. So again, arms stay a little bit quieter now as you try and puff up into the belly. Arms might move a little bit, chest will move a little bit, but see if you can get the majority of that movement in your lower belly. We'll take one more like that. Lovely. And then soften, release. Allow the breath to return to its normal kind of rhythm. Reach the arms out to the side. Separate your knees up towards the ceiling. Feet wide, heels in, toes slightly turned out, ready for a little twist, or breathe in. And breathe out, drop both knees over to the right and maybe roll your head to the left. Inhale through the middle and exhale over to the left, maybe turning your head the opposite way. And just continue now. Oh, hello, furry friends. Maybe you start to push your hips gently in the same direction of your knees, getting a little bit of a deeper twist there. Maybe you bring the arms above your head and rest one hand on top of the other if that feels comfortable. So do whatever feels nice there. Just do a couple more each way. One more over to the right side and then one more over to the left side. Lovely. And then we'll come back in through the middle. Walk your feet hip width apart. Lower the arms if they're above your head. And again, we'll bring the knees in towards your chest. This time widening the knees and hooking one ankle over the other. Let's take the legs round in a circle. Oh, Milu, are you scared that you're missing out on something? You've got FOMO. Fear of missing out on yoga. Bring the legs to stillness, cross the other ankle on top and take the knees round the other way. So you might be trying to get into the sides of the buttocks here as you give yourself a nice massage. Lovely. And then deciding how you want to come up to seated. So you might roll to one side or hold behind your knees and roll your way up through the middle. Lovely. Let's extend both legs out in front of you. Go ahead and pop something underneath you if you need to, or maybe bend your knees generously. We'll take a nice deep breath in, float the arms up. And breathing out, let's come down over the legs. Or maybe if hamstrings feel tight, you might go for that lovely supported version, bending both knees and wrapping your arms around the backs of your thighs. So whatever feels nice this morning. Just add a little bit of softness, still warming up, body still waking up maybe. So keep a little softness in the knees. Beautiful. And then we'll walk the hands back up the legs, draw that right heel in towards your bottom and just allow the knee to roll open. So you can pop something underneath that knee if you need to. Let's breathe in and reach the arms up towards the sky. And breathe out, coming over that left leg now. So maybe the hands are on either side of your thigh, maybe they're on your shin. Some of you might be able to find your foot. Ease your way down. Try and relax that right knee out to the side there. Lovely. And then we'll walk the hands back up the legs. Breathing in, reaching the arms up, ready for a little twist. Breathing out, let's twist around to the right. So bringing that left hand across the body. Right hand snuggles behind you, pause there. Maybe turning your head to look over that back shoulder if it's comfortable. Lovely, breath in through the middle. And breathing out over to the other side. So right hand this time, coming across the body, other hand behind you, so you're sitting up nice and tall. Amelia now kneading, he's making biscuits, you know, that lovely thing that cats do, it's so sweet. Breathing in, let's reach the arms up. Breathing out, we're coming back round to the right side. Lovely, so settle that left hand on your thigh, your shin, wherever it lands. You're going to reach the right arm up and then reach it over on the diagonal. So you're reaching for the top left-hand corner of your mat there. Beautiful. Let's come back through the middle, reaching both arms up. Oh, that got you. Take a breath in. Back over that extended leg as you breathe out. Yes, coming all the way down. Notice if your chest is dipping to the left or the right. Try and keep it relatively square. And we're going to walk our way halfway up. So lift your chest so you can bring your left hand onto your left shin. And we'll reach the right fingertips forwards. Amelia's now obsessed with my foot. No, off my foot. So right arm opens out as you inhale. Maybe opens just halfway. And exhale, we close. So I've got my chest lifted. I'm not collapsing there. So we'll do that twice more. Lovely opening for the upper back and the chest. Breathing in, we open the arm. And breathing out, we close. Lovely. Let's do that one more time. So breath in. Don't worry if your arm only maybe comes up level with your shoulder. Beautiful. We'll walk the hands back up the legs. Now either just take that leg out on the diagonal or you're going to bend the knee behind you. So we're coming into a little zigzag. Right hand down behind your hip. We'll sweep that left arm in front of the face. An option to pick up the hips as you look back towards that bottom hand there. Beautiful. Slowly sweep the arm in front of the face. Bring yourself all the way down. Stretch the legs out in front of you. Immediately, that's a cashmere jumper you're wrecking there. Give the legs a little shake. And then we'll bring that left heel in towards your bottom. I don't know if you can see him. He's in absolute ecstasy over a cashmere jumper here. So reach is never going to be the same. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, let's come down over the legs. Oh, so we've got the left heel in, trying to relax the knee. So again, feel free to pop something underneath your knee if you need to. Ease your way down. One side might feel very different to the other this morning. Lovely. We'll walk the hands back up the legs, ready for that little twist. So inhale, float the arms up. And this time we'll twist around to the left. So take your time, ease your way around, right arm coming across the body. Left hand snuggles down, maybe turning your head. See if you can pick up your chest. Lovely. Lift up and out the hips a little bit more. Inhale through the middle, reach the arms up. Round to the other side. So again, just reaching that left arm to your outer thigh, other hand behind, turning. Just make sure you're not leaning back there. Lovely. Let's come back through the middle, breath in. Over to the left one more time. So you can stay in that twist if that little arm reach didn't work for you. Or this time, keep your right hand gently pressing the thigh away. Left arm reaches up and over, so you're reaching to the top right hand diagonal, getting a nice stretch out there. Oh, that feels good. Back through the middle. Let's reach both arms up towards the ceiling, breathing in. Back down over that extended leg, breathing out. Lovely. Again, the hands might be a little bit closer towards you. Nice. So this time we're going to lift the chest so you can bring your right hand onto your right shin. Go ahead and bring it up a little higher if you need to. Left hand just reaches forwards. And then we look towards that left thumb as we open the arm out to the side and maybe up as you inhale. And exhale, we close the arm back down. So we're getting a nice stretch up through the upper back, across the chest, into the shoulder. Lovely. So one side might move a little bit more freely than the other. Let's do one more, reaching the arm all the way up. Lovely. And then coming all the way back down. Ready to walk our way back up the legs. So again, you can take the leg out on the diagonal and just point your toes and do that side reach, or tuck the shin behind you. So we're seeing in a little zigzag. Left hand comes down, right arm sweeps in front of the face. You might stay there, or a little push up. Lovely, taking your gaze towards that back hand. Little squeeze the bottom, beautiful. And then let's come all the way down, down, down. Lovely. Bring both hands behind you now so you can lean into your hands and extend both legs out in front of you. So I'm going to turn my fingertips slightly out to the side. You can face them forwards, it's entirely up to you. But point the toes, pick up your chest as you press into your hands. Maybe lift your chin, maybe lift your eye gaze up towards the ceiling there. Feel that lovely sense of space across your chest. Beautiful. And then slowly we'll soften it down. We'll bend the knees and find our way round onto all fours now. So pad up your knees if you need to. You can double your mat over or pop a little blanket under them. And then hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips there. If your shoulders are feeling particularly tight today, just take those hands a little bit wider apart so you can give yourself some more space. And before we start our cat-cow, let's find that lovely, solid box position. So without locking your elbows, we press into the hands, so we press the earth away, lengthening tailbone and crown of head in opposite directions, so we're not dropping the head there. Beautiful. And from that lovely position, as you inhale, keep pressing into your hands as you dip your belly. Tailbone lifts, heart pulls forwards. And exhale, round up through the back. Chin to chest, tailbone tucking under. Inhale, tailbone tilts up. Heart pulls forwards, keep pressing into those hands so the shoulders are away from your ears. And exhale, round on up. So just continuing now, maybe closing your eyes there. Oh, Amelia, if you've done enough damage to the jumper now, you've disappeared. The jumper has lost its allure. Oh, that's nice, rippling that movement up and down the spine. And the next time you find that lovely angry cat position, pressing into your hands with the tailbone tucked under and the back rounded. If your lower back feels okay with it, just start to gently nudge your hips from side to side. And you might even begin to bring your ear to your shoulders. You're making a little C shape through the spine. Nice stretch out through the side body and into the low back. Lovely. Let's take one more little wiggle from side to side. And then come back to that nice angry cat position, pressing into your hands. Navel hugged up towards your spine, take an inhale. And as you exhale, slide your bottom back towards your heels. Maybe creep your hands forward so you can lift up onto the tips of your fingers and thumbs. Pressing your fingers down, hug your hips back towards your heels as you find that lovely child pose. You can always just rest your forearms on the floor if that's more comfortable today. And just breathe a couple of breaths into the back of the body, the sides of the body there, finding that nice expansive stretch. Beautiful. Lovely. And then from there, simply allow your palms to come down to the floor, or keep the arms where they are. You can stay there in that nice child pose, or join me in a little moving flow, getting the body moving. As you inhale, we'll come to all fours and exhaling down onto your tummy with your elbows hugging in. Lovely. Pressing the floor away, peeling your way back up. Breath in. Breathing out into that child pose. We're going to do that twice more if it feels nice. If you prefer to rest this morning, or you just want to come up onto all fours and then back into a child pose, feel free. Otherwise, we're rolling the body up and down. Just one more time. Inhale, coming up, maybe with a rounded back. And then exhale, unfurling yourself all the way down onto the floor. Back up onto all fours on an inhale. Pausing in that child pose. Bottom to heels, arms in front of you. And then we'll slide our way back onto all fours now, hands under shoulders. But this time we'll tuck our toes under, get a little stretch out through the feet. So pressing into your hands again, finding that box-like position. Keep your gaze forwards now as you breathe in. As you breathe out, put your navel up towards your spine and maybe hover your knees off the floor just by an inch or two. Lovely. Keep the gaze forwards, keep pressing into your hands. Lovely. Feel the core muscles engage as we hold for 3, 2, and 1. Push the hips up and back. Oh, downward dog. Never has downward dog felt so nice. Have a little pedal out through your feet. Maybe a little shake of the hips, the shake of the head from side to side as you just take a little walk there. Bending one knee and then the other. And maybe you add a bit of twist. As you straighten one leg, you peep underneath that armpit. And then change sides. So you add a little bit of movement in the spine. And we're going to do 3 leg lifts. If that feels good, you can always drop down onto all fours and do this. But if you can with me, we're going to find that downward dog. Right leg lifting first of all on an inhale, toes gently turned out. And as you exhale, let's lower the foot to the floor. So let's lift the left leg, inhaling. And exhaling, lower that foot to the floor. Let's do one more, lifting that right leg. Beautiful. We're going to pause, right leg lifted. Now rise up onto the ball of the underneath foot. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, step that right foot forwards between your hands. And we're going to drop the back knee. Give it a helping hand if you need to. Lovely. So pushing the floor away, reaching up with the arms. Breath in. And breathing out, lowering the arms all the way down. Lovely. One more like that. So inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, float the arms back down. This time we're going to sweep the arms up, breathing in. As you breathe out, just reach the right arm down and the left arm up and over into a nice side bend. Lovely, back up through the middle, breathing in. Breathing out over to the other side, so left fingertips reaching down. Lovely, we'll do one more each way, so don't worry if you're doing the opposite arm. Try and keep that front knee nice and steady. It's got a tendency to roll inwards as we move through these side bends, so keep that front knee nice and stable. Beautiful. We're going to reach the arms all the way up. Breath in, breathing out, hands coming down to frame the front foot. Keep the left hand where it is. Bring your right hand to your right knee and start to turn your chest, spinning your chest towards that right knee. Option to lift the back knee up, stretching the heel away from you as you reach that right arm up towards the sky in a nice twist. You can always keep the knee down. Try and draw that right hip back so we're not popping it out to the side. We'll take one more inhale. And as you exhale, lower the hand, lower that back knee, and go ahead and flatten any toes that are tucked under. Let's come up onto the fingertips, breathing in, breathing out, sliding the hips back into a nice hamstring stretch this morning. So you might walk your hands back towards you and keep your foot flat and your knee bent. You might be able to slide that heel away from you and pull the toes towards your face. Lovely. Just notice if your hips have swung over to the left side of your mat, and just go ahead and bring them back to the middle. Now, option just to stay there. If you want a little balance challenge, sorry, Barry. As you inhale, take the right arm out to the side, just as we did in the beginning. And as you exhale, bring the fingertips back down. Lovely. Oh, other side. The other side might feel a little bit more spacious as you lift the left arm. And then lower down. Let's do one more each way, so you can always skip this and just hold that hamstring stretch as if that wasn't bad enough. Ooh, little wibble, wobble, one more. Inhale. Ooh. And exhale. That's quite enough of that, isn't it? Let's roll through that front foot. We're going to bend the knee, pick up the back knee, and get ready for a warrior two. So we're going to drop the back heel in and then float the arms up into that lovely warrior two position. So take your time to get yourself aligned on your mat there, reaching the arms out left to right. Lovely. And just notice if that front knee is rolling in. So go ahead and adjust that foot, maybe turn it out in the diagonal so you can keep your knee towards the little toe. Now turn the palms forwards and just take your gaze towards your left thumb. Now as you straighten both legs, you're going to sweep that left arm round to the front, bringing the palms towards each other. They might even touch. And then as you bend that front knee, we'll draw that left arm all the way back like you're pulling a bow, and maybe take your gaze to the back of your mat. Lovely. Beautiful. So we're going to add the breath. So as you inhale, we'll straighten the legs and sweep that arm forwards. And as you exhale, bend the knee and draw that arrow all the way back. Lovely. So inhale, big sweep of the arm, that left arm coming forwards. And then exhale, we draw the arm back. Lovely. Let's do that a couple more times. So we're getting a lovely rotation through the upper back. Lovely. And then that lovely movement across the chest. Let's do that one more time. So inhaling, reaching the arms forwards. And exhale, let's pause in that warrior now, reaching the arms all the way out to the side. And this time as you breathe in, let's reach the right arm all the way up and back. We'll reverse our warrior. And as you exhale, right forearm to thigh, top arm up or up and over. Beautiful. Straighten both legs, arrow both arms up, big breath in. As you breathe out, right arm back, left arm, just let it drop. So we're reversing our triangle this time. Lovely. Inhale, bring the arms out left to right. Exhaling into your triangle this time. So bring that right hand maybe onto your thigh. Maybe it comes down onto your shin. Maybe you rest the back of the hand against the inner thigh or leg. So really try and keep your chest square to the camera there. Maybe take your gaze up towards the ceiling if that feels good. Lovely. Beautiful. So let's see if we can keep that leg straight as you take the arms up towards the ceiling, turning all 10 toes forwards. Take a breath in as you reach up. And as you breathe out, take a hinge forwards, bringing your fingertips down to the floor, or maybe just bringing your hands onto your thighs there. So I'm just going to adjust the screen ever so slightly. Lovely. So finding that forward fold there. And from that forward fold, drop your weight into your heels. You're going to creep the fingertips forwards. So you've got a lovely long belly and long back. Now just notice if you're dumping all your weight into your fingertips, and can you firm up through the belly so you've lightened that load. Looking towards your right hand as you breathe in, let's float the right arm all the way up for a little twist. And exhale, fingertips finding the floor, light touch. Other side, left arm lifting. Hips stay square. Again, that lovely rotation through the upper back, all the way back down. Let's do that one more time each way. So a little float up towards the sky as you breathe in. And coming all the way down as you breathe out. Lovely. Let's do that one more time. So chest pulling forwards. Beautiful. So if you're really wide in your legs, we're going to toe heel the feet a little closer together. And bring your heels in, your toes out. Bending those knees. On an inhale, sweep the arms up towards the sky as you straighten the legs. And as you exhale, we're going to bend the knees and draw the hands down to the heart in that little goddess squat. Beautiful. Arrow the arms up, legs straighten, big breath in. Breathing out, this time we'll bend the elbows, little cactus arms, so elbows sliding down level with the shoulders. Lovely. Inhale, reach the arms up, really push into the floor beneath you. Exhale, hands to heart, maybe coming down a little deeper, squeezing those knees out to the side. Lovely. Inhaling up. Exhaling that lovely cactus, so spread the fingers nice and wide. Beautiful. This time we'll arrow the arms up, turning all 10 toes forwards. Exhaling back down into that forward fold, fingertips find the floor. So you're going to turn towards your right foot. So turn your right foot forwards, have a little pivot on that back heel, back into that lunge. Option downward dog, or take the right leg up and back into a three-legged dog, breathing in. And breathing out, lower the foot to the floor. Option to come onto all fours, or this time as you inhale, roll the body forwards to a plank pose. And as you exhale, knees down, chest down. Let's come down onto the floor, press into the tops of the feet, palms of the hands, lift the chest, breathing in, baby cobra. Hug those elbows in. Exhale, let's lower all the way down, lovely. Let's come up onto all fours, breathing in, sliding hips to heels. Take a moment in that child pose. Arms outstretched. I'm just going to turn around on my mat so I can mirror you. Oh, look at my boy. He's asleep. Yoga's worked. It's magic. Reach the arms out. Take a moment in that child pose. Oh, Amelia's got the ultimate child pose next to me. I'll give him a little cuddle for you. Beautiful. And then let's see if we can do that little ditty on the other side. So when you're ready, we'll find our way back onto all fours. Never in my wildest dreams, when I was doing my yoga training, did they mention the health and safety issue of having a sleeping cat on your mat, or how to navigate that. So hands on the shoulders, knees under the hips. Let's go ahead and tuck those toes under. Now, if you don't like hovering the knees, just get that sensation of pulling up navel to spine, engaging those core muscles. If you're with me, we'll take a breath in. And as you breathe out, navel to spine, and then we add that little hover of the knees. So bottom stays low, We're pressing into our hands, gaze stays forwards, feeling those strong core muscles waking up, the foundation of so many poses. We'll hold for 3, stop talking, Helen, 2, and 1. Push the hips up and back and take that little walk out through your feet. Again, maybe adding that little twist, peeping underneath the armpit of the leg that you're straightening as you take that little pedal. Lovely. So we're going to do those little leg lifts again. So if it's too much to do it from downward dog, drop down onto all fours and just extend the leg up and back. But if you can, let's find that downward dog. And on your next inhale, left leg floats up this time as you inhale. Toe turning out. And as you exhale, lower the foot to the floor. As you lift the right leg up, try not to shift the weight too much from each hand. You're keeping your armpit square to the floor. Lovely. So let's lift that left leg up now, breathing in. Lovely. And as you breathe out, let's bring that knee to your chest and step the foot forwards between your hands. Go ahead and give it a hand if it needs to, as you lower that back knee. Beautiful. So when you're ready, picking up the breath, inhale, float the arms up. And exhale, release them all the way down. Lovely. So really pushing into the floor, breathing in, reaching up. And breathing out, hands coming down. So this time we'll reach both arms up, breathing in. As you breathe out, left arm comes down, right arm reaches over the top of the head. So we come into that lovely side bend. Lovely. Breath in to reach up. Other way as you breathe out. So don't worry if your fingertips don't touch the floor. Mine are nowhere near there. You might do if you've got longer arms. We'll do that one more each way. With my little Tyrannosaurus Rex arms, I'm not going to reach the floor. Remember that front knee. Keep it nice and stable. Breath in to reach up, up, up. Last time over. To the right, right fingertips reaching down, lovely, coming all the way back up through the middle, breath in, and breathing out, fingertips find the floor. So just find your left knee with your left hand, keep the right hand on the floor, start to turn your chest towards that left knee, and then option to pick up the back knee as you reach that left arm up towards the sky. You might look up, you might keep your gaze down. If you've got that back knee lifted, really draw that left hip in and back so you're not popping it out to the side. One more breath in, breathing out, hands to the floor, drop the back knee and flatten any toes that are tucked under. Come up onto your fingertips as you breathe in, breathing out, ready for that hamstring stretch. So go ahead and keep a softness in the knee, maybe the foot to the floor if hamstrings are tight. Or slide that heel away from you and pull the toes towards your face if you want a little bit more stretch in the back of the leg today. Swing the hips back to the middle of the mat. And then if you want that little balance challenge with me, remember we're going to move the arms. So as you inhale, we're going to float the left arm up. Woo! And exhaling, bringing the fingertips down. You can always skip this bit. Other arms, so as you lift that right arm, might feel a little bit more spacious. Lovely, coming all the way back down. Let's do one more each way. Again, you can keep both fingertips firmly on the floor if you don't like this movement, if it makes you feel really unsteady. One more, lifting the right arm up, up, up. And then we'll come all the way back down. Lovely. We'll roll through that front foot, pick up the back knee, and we'll drop that back heel in again. Maybe walk that front foot just to the middle of the mat, ready for your warrior 2 when you're ready, reaching the arms out left to right. So go ahead and adjust any feet that you need to. And if you can see yourself in your camera, just make sure you're not leaning forward. So we've got your shoulders on top of your hips there. Lovely, bending into that front knee. We're going to turn both palms forwards, thumbs up towards the sky. So this time we turn our gaze towards your right thumb. We're going to straighten both legs. And that right arm is going to sweep all the way round. Maybe the palms touch, maybe they just come parallel. And then we bend the knees, we draw that right arm all the way back like you're drawing your bow and arrow. Lovely. Inhale as you straighten the legs, reach the arms forwards. And as you exhale, draw that arm back and bend that knee. Lovely. So inhale as you reach and twist. And exhale as you reach the arm across the body, really broaden into the chest. Lovely. Let's do that twice more. So it's strong in the legs, but it's a lovely rotation through the upper back, the middle back, where many of us get quite immobile and stiff. So it's a lovely one to release there. Lovely. So this time we'll pause in that warrior when we've drawn that last bow back, keeping the front knee bent. As you inhale, let's float the left arm up and back. Keep that front knee bent. And as you exhale, left hand or forearm coming to your thigh, top arm up or up and over. Lovely. So we're going to straighten both legs, arrow the arms up as you inhale. And as you exhale, let's take the left arm up and back. So again, we're reversing our triangle this time. Lovely. Legs stay straight up through the middle, breathing in. Ready for our triangle. So reaching forwards, left hand maybe onto your thigh. Maybe it comes down a little bit lower. Maybe you rest the back of the hand on the inside of the leg. Try and just push your hips forwards. Maybe take your gaze up towards the ceiling if that's comfortable. Lovely. Let's come all the way back up through the middle, turning all 10 toes forwards. And this time is an option, hands to hips, or go ahead and interlace the hands around your low back if shoulders feel okay. So either hands on hips, squeezing those elbows back behind you, or draw the knuckles down, broaden the chest, big breath in, and breathing out, we're going to hinge forwards, arms might lift up and over. If that isn't for you today, go ahead and bring your fingertips straight down to the floor, back into that forward fold. Crown of the head dropping down, just allowing the weight of the arms to stretch into the shoulders. And then hands coming onto your bottom. Fingertips finding the floor, keeping the weight in your heels. We again elongate the chest. So walk your fingertips forwards, firm up through the belly. So again, fingertips aren't turning white through the strain there. Lovely. Push the weight back into your heels, looking towards that right hand. Let's take a breath in. This time as you breathe out, we're going to wrap the back of the hand onto your low back. Or some of you might even find the top of your opposite thigh. And try and open up through the chest. Maybe your gaze turns up towards the sky. Maybe you keep your gaze down. Lovely. Let's reach the arm up, breathing in. Fingertips finding the floor as you breathe out. Other side. So keep the chest pulling forwards as you reach that left arm up. And then back of the hand, find your low back or maybe even wraps behind you. Try and roll that top shoulder open as you find that lovely rotation again. Keep the heart pulling forwards. And then we'll reach the left arm up as you breathe in. Fingertips down to the floor. Lovely. So as you walk your hands back towards you again, shorten your stance if you're very wide in the legs. Heels in, toes out, softening the knees. And when you're ready to breathe in, we'll sweep the arms up, straightening the legs. And as you exhale, hands together at the heart as you bend into your knees. Imagine you're sliding your back down a wall. Inhale, reaching up, straightening the legs. Exhale, this time more cactus. So spread the fingers nice and wide, elbows draw down. Lovely. One more each way, inhaling up. Hands to heart. So again, try not to stick your bottom out and lean forward. So we're again sliding down that imaginary wall. One more inhale, reaching up. And a nice cactus. Beautiful. This time as you breathe in, we'll turn all 10 toes forwards and exhale back down into that forward fold. So this time you're turning over your left foot. So turn your left foot to the top of the mat. Little pivot on the back foot. Option downward dog. We'll take that left leg up and back. Woo! Three-legged dog. Lovely. Breathing in. Breathing out, both feet to the floor. Downward dog. Option to rest or rolling the body forwards to plank. Big breath in. Breathing out, lowering yourself down. Maybe your knees stay lifted. Lovely. Little cobra as you breathe in. And breathing out, roll your way back down. Lovely. Push your way back onto all fours. This time taking the knees a little wider apart. Big toes touching together. So as you find that child pose now, we've created a little bit of space there. Soften your elbows and maybe even rest your head on the backs of your hands there. Just with the elbows a little wider, you can feel your chest release, your upper back begin to soften there. If you don't like your knees being wide, go ahead and obviously bring them parallel if that's more comfortable. Oh, now you can stay there in that lovely restful child pose. Or straightening both arms forwards. Come up onto the tips of your right fingers and thumb so you can feed the left arm underneath the right arm into a little thread needle. So you're peeping under your right armpit. Just see if you can rest your head just above your ear as you roll that top armpit open. So you're taking a little lean into that left shoulder. You might even feel a little stretch in your inner thigh as well. Lovely. Let's feed that arm back out in front of you. And then we'll change sides. So on the tips of your left hand, Feeding the right arm underneath, lifting that top armpit up towards the ceiling as you reach the right arm through. Again, we're not resting on the ear, you're just above your ear. Lovely. And then we'll unravel. Beautiful. Coming back onto all fours, springing those knees parallel. Just walk your knees back so you can ease your way down onto your tummy there. Resting your head on your hands, make that little pillow for yourself. Go ahead and pick up one leg and stretch it back behind you, and then the other leg, so you feel nice and open across the hips. Maybe have a little rock from side to side there. So using that, let's see if we can have a nice quad stretch here. So using that right leg, heel coming in towards your bottom with a flexed foot. You're going to reach the right arm back behind you. See if you can maybe just catch your fingers in your trousers, or you take hold around the top of your foot or your ankle, drawing that heel in towards the middle of your bottom there. If you can't quite reach your foot this morning, just rest your head on your hands and bring that heel in towards you. Knees are about hip width apart. That right knee isn't lifted. We're pressing the hips gently down into the floor for a deeper stretch there. Imagining that knee elongating away from the top of your hip there, stretching out through that big thigh muscle. Lovely. And when you're ready, very slowly release the leg, and we'll change sides. So heel coming in, and again, that might be where you stay this morning. Or you might be able to reach around with the same hand, your left hand this time. Heel being drawn in towards the middle of your bottom, knee lengthening away from the top of your hip, and pressing your hips gently down into the floor if you want a deeper stretch there. Lovely. And then let's release. So we're going to add on. You might just want to repeat that. So let's start by bringing right heel in towards right bottom, reaching round and taking hold around the foot. Our option to stretch the left arm out in front of you with your palm flat to the floor. So as you lift your chest, taking the gaze down towards the floor, just slide that left hand back in towards you a little way, palm on the floor. And then see if you can push your foot into your hand and lift your right knee, your right thigh from the floor. So you're lifting both ends of the body. Chest lifted as you press into that left palm. Knee lifted, it might not lift. You might just be able to lift your chest a little bit. Lovely, a half bow pose. Keep breathing. And then slowly, slowly release. Rest your head on your hands as you relax that leg down. We'll try the other side. So as you bring the left heel in, you might have decided already that that's not for you, and you simply want to repeat that lovely quad stretch, holding on around the top of the foot. Heel coming into bottom, hips pressing down. If you want to try that little half bow, right arm in front, palm on the floor. So as you lift your chest, you might slide that right hand a little closer in towards you so you can pick up your chest. And then maybe pressing foot into hand, hand against foot, you lift that left knee just off the floor. It might lift a little, it might not lift at all. Lifting both ends of the body there, right leg stays on the floor there. Lovely, slowly, slowly lower down, rest head on hands, but this time we'll flick the toes up towards the ceiling, bending the knees, and just have a little windshield wiper action there. Rocking from side to side. Oh, just releasing any tension from the hips. And then relaxing the legs back down to the floor behind you. We'll come back onto all fours, pausing momentarily in that lovely angry cat position. So tuck the tailbone under, let the head drop. Just release through the back. You might even go back to that little kind of wiggle of your hips side to side. Just release any tension from the back body there. Lovely. And then from there, bring your gaze forwards, bring your knees and your ankles together so you can just swish your feet round to one side, drop your hips down and extend both legs out in front of you. I meant to apologise for any noise you can hear next door. I think my neighbours have got some workmen in, so apologies if there's any background noise. Let's sweep the arms up, breathing in, breathing out, over into that forward fold again. Oh, maybe this feels a little different this time. Oh, but go ahead and bend your knees, wrap your hands around your thighs if you need a little modification there. Allowing the body just to soften there for a moment. Well done, team. Lovely. Then we'll walk our way back up. We'll bring that right heel back in towards your bottom, allowing the knee to open just as we did at the beginning, only this time let's take that left leg out on the diagonal. So you might need to adjust your pelvis slightly so you're sitting up nice and square. Left hand onto your thigh or your shin. Let's reach the right arm up, breathing in and breathing out over the top, maybe tucking your chin in into a little side bend there. If that top arm is uncomfortable, just get rid of it, wrap it around your low back and take your gaze down. Elongating that arm over the top, lovely. Let's come up through the middle, both arms reaching up, breathing in. Try and keep that length as you just float the fingertips down to the floor in front of you. Now, it might be a very small movement now as you start to gently pad your way forwards, keeping the toes of that left foot up towards the ceiling and keeping that left sit bone glued down onto the floor. So it's very easy to lift your bottom up and come down a little bit further, but kind of resist the urge to do that. Just make the movement a little bit shallower if you need to. Lovely. It's a stiff one, that one, isn't it? So walk the hands back, very tight in the hips for many of us, myself included. So hand onto the thigh, the shin, or maybe this time your first two fingers. Just hook around your big toe. Arm lifting, breath in. Back into that side bend as you breathe out. So some of you might be able to drop your elbow on the inside of your knee. Some of us might need to keep that hand a little closer towards us. Lovely. Let's come all the way back up. This time, right hand coming down behind your hip. Point the toes as you sweep the arm in front of the face. Option to stay there. Or again, pick up the hips. You can take the gaze down or take the gaze up. The choice is yours there. Lovely. Slowly, slowly. Let's come all the way back down. Lovely. Extend the legs out in front of you. Give the knees a little shake, shake. And then inhaling all the way up. Coming down over the legs one last time. Maybe your hands find your feet. Maybe again, you've got your hands resting on your shins or your thighs. It's all good. It's all good. Chin tucking in slightly. Nice. And then as we walk the hands back up the legs. So ready to do that on the other side. So left heel coming in. Go ahead and prop up your knee if you need to as you take that right leg out on the diagonal. So move your hips if you need to there. Right hand on your thigh or your shin. Toes stay turned up as you breathe in. And then over the top, breathing out. So again, go ahead and get rid of that top arm. Try not to dip your chest. So if you find that you're folding over, just lift yourself up a little bit higher to keep that lovely openness through the chest there. One side might feel different, always does on me. Let's come up through the middle. Try and keep the length through both sides of the body now as you reach up towards the sky, breathing in. Just rain the fingertips down to the floor in front of you. And again, we start that little walk forward. So it might be a tiny, tiny movement to keep that right sit bone grounded and the toes pointing up. Some of you might be able to come a little bit further forward. It's a tight, tight stretch, that one, I know. I can feel that myself. Lovely. And then we'll come all the way back up, ready for that side bend. So again, you might hook your first two fingers around your big toe. You might keep your hand on your thigh or your shin, all the way up. So if you've got your fingers around your big toe, you might be able to drop your elbow against your inner knee, but don't overdo that one. It's a big lateral bend, that one. It's a big side flexion, so be easy. Don't want to pull anything. Let's come up through the middle. Hand coming down behind you. So again, you can just sweep the arm across the face and point the toes, or again, pick up the hips and come into that lovely sort of mini back bend there. Beautiful. Let's come all the way back down. Oh, lovely, lovely. Give the legs a little shake, shake. Pop on any jumpers or warm things that you might need if you're in a chilly room before you make your way down onto your back. And bring your knees with you. Oh, that feels nice. Oh, have a little rock, have a little roll. I've got a feeling I'm going to fall asleep in my reflexology after this. Oh, what a treat. I normally wake myself up snoring though, which is always a huge shame. Oh, let's keep the knees up towards your chest, if that's comfortable on the back, if not feet to the floor. We'll release the arms out left to right or in a little cactus of your type of space. And as you drop your knees over to the right side, You can scoot them up towards your chest or slide the feet a little further away from you, depending on how that feels, or even pop something underneath your knees if the floor seems a long way away. Try and slide both shoulder blades out from underneath you. As you close your eyes and maybe roll your chin over that left shoulder. Just take a couple of nice breaths there. Lovely. Head coming back through the middle. Use an in-breath to bring those heavy levers of the legs back to your chest, and an exhale to let them fall gently to the other side. So again, go ahead and adjust them. The closer the knees are up towards your chest, the tighter the twist and the higher the twist in the back. So sliding those shoulder blades out from underneath you, maybe roll your head away from your knees as you just allow the knees to gently soften down. I'm just going to come up to sit so I can talk to you, but just stay in that twist a little bit longer. Lovely. And when you're ready, head coming back to center. Draw those knees back up and in towards your chest. Maybe again, have a little bit of movement. Maybe bring your nose towards your knees or have a little circle there. And as you bring your feet down to the floor, you might just want to keep them there with your feet a little wider apart, your inner knees resting against each other. Or if you want to stretch one leg out and then the other in front of you, feel free. So go ahead and again, make any adjustments that you might need. Something underneath the back of your head, or maybe underneath the backs of your knees, even to release the low back. Closing the eyes, hands gently resting somewhere on your body if that's comfortable, or maybe just down by the sides of you. Lovely. Taking that nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, let everything soften. Let it go. Let it go. Just notice how the body feels. After the movement comes that moment of reflection, that moment of allowing the body to rest and digest the effects of the practice. Sometimes the hardest moments in all the yoga pose because we're forced to sit alone with our thoughts. So if those thoughts begin to become a little bit too intrusive, just see if you can come back to your breath. Every inhale, an opportunity to re-energize, reinvigorate, ready for the week, the day ahead, and every exhale, an opportunity just to release, to soften, to let go. Lovely. So when you're ready to face the rest of the day, hopefully feeling a little bit more connected, a little bit more stretched and spacious, start to gently move the body. Maybe just start by rolling across the back of the head or wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. And then maybe if the knees are bent, you might want to straighten the legs. And you might want to float the arms back above your head, finding that lovely stretch. You might even want to have a little wiggle into the hips there, reaching into one side and then the other. Beautiful. And then as you lower the arms, bringing those knees in towards your chest one last time. You might just want to stay in stillness or again have a little bit of movement, a little bit of rock or rolling or a circling of the knees. And then just let that movement carry you onto one side or the other. So you're laying on your right side or your left side. And then come up to a comfortable seated position when you're ready. See all these little faces suddenly appear, like little meerkats. Ding! Ah, lovely. So remember, we never have to sit cross-legged. You might just want to stretch your legs out. Beautiful. Let's take a deep breath in together, reaching the arms up. And as you bring your hands to your heart, allow your chin to drop down in that little reverent bow to one another. Just whatever you came to your mat this morning looking for, be it a stretch or a little bit of me time, a bit of calmness in the midst of all the busyness around us. I hope you found it in your practice this morning. And namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, now we'll have to go and Google drawing and piano lessons, won't we?